Look at us.
Hello.
Are we already live?
We're already live. Look at us being
My
complimentary.
hair.
Orange, blue, orange.
Oh, I
We're a lovely
know.
little color scheme.
Didn't even plan
We
it.
didn't. Look at us go.
People say that to Sue and I all the time. We're always somehow coordinating.
Weird wavelengths.
So, yeah.
Sisters.
But here we are with Paul.
I know.
Yay! It's good to be here with you guys. It's good to be back home
You're
for a
back.
I know.
Like
I
pretty much a
wonder
year.
how many times, sorry, I'm going to move
You're
over just a
fine.
little bit. This is going to happen again. Like how often? You know, there's a point where
Don't
you come,
make me cry.
I'm just saying, I know, but there is a point with how many times you'll come home and then you'll really be off and running. And so I know what that's like. So with me, my personal self, with you know, with my kids and stuff. So you know, so I guess I'm thank you for coming.
Yay!
No, of course. I had to come back and visit you guys and chat with you
you're
guys.
here. I mean, Billings is home base. So
exactly.
Yeah,
and
always.
I'm back in the States.
Plus,
so
you're leaving stuff here.
exactly. I got I have most of my
That's
stashes
right.
here. My mother's my inventory manager
That's
at this
hilarious.
point.
Yeah, that's why you should organize that storeroom. So you could say, in quadrant A,
Right.
Exactly.
you will find this.
Just
Please-
make a little
please
map.
deliver to me.
That's kind of like
That's funny.
this morning. My husband texts me. He's like, "We need an HDMI cord. I know it's in the house somewhere." So first he has
Somewhere?
me. Yeah, I have to look. I'm like all over the house, downstairs, in the living room, way out in the garage. I finally found a short little cord with the HDMI stuff.
That's
Weird.
impressive. I'm glad you found it.
I know.
Why
And
did-
where I found it, I'm like, I
Okay,
had no
yeah.
idea there was anything in this drawer.
Yeah,
So
it's been a year, so things have moved, and I'm like, well, I thought this was here, and now it's gone. And
Right.
good morning,
Who's
great,
here?
delightful
that
yarnies.
Carla?
Carla, hi, Carla, I miss you.
Aw, yay.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
well,
so-
we're really glad he's here and can
Okay.
read that camera from far away.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, so we want to just do a quick catch up with Paul. And then, but we're going to,
We're kind of going to cover a few
little
like
things
shop
for the
things
shop.
before we really jump
Yeah.
into like bothering him.
but Paul,
So-
in case you don't know, I'm Sue,
And I'm Linda
and
And
we
I'm
own the
Paul.
Yarn Bar.
in Billings, Montana.
And this is Paul Haesemeyer.
Right.
Hello.
Who is a Billings guy who has just returned from a Fullbright scholarship in Latvia.
He's sort of an up and coming knitwear
Yeah.
designer, costume person. Where he's moving to New York
Right.
after this.
So we're going to get the lowdown on Paul's life in like, it'll be a short snippet. But anyway,
Sorry.
but we've got a couple
burn
things. Wait, do you want to
You're
switch
good.
that?
No, but I can
Are we
see
good?
on this side I'm a little overexposed.
Oh, okay.
Thank you,
I'm
Cynthia. I appreciate it.
overexposed.
Okay. All right. So, okay, what
Okay.
do you want to talk? Oh, I don't have my knitting to talk about. I don't know if
Okay.
we need
All right.
to.
Okay. Well.
Okay.
I'll hold.
So we got
Okay,
some
we'll
new
put this
stuff
right
last
here.
week, and we know that some people only want to find out what's new in the shop because they don't come in or can't come in. So a couple little kits came from Appalachian Baby. There you can.
Yeah, it's so cute.
super cute little baby things.
This is a little blankie kit.
How
Yeah,
cute is
people are
that?
already super
I know. We
excited
didn't
about
even
it.
talk about it.
And
Ooh.
so that is so cute. It's got the buttons and everything.
Baby
so
bear
that's the little
cardigan.
cardigan Sue was
So
just showing.
sweet the way they did the buttons. Like the packaging is nice. So you could
And
give it as a gift
A
or
little
make
poncho kit.
it as a
So
gift.
yeah, we've got
Okay.
plenty. So I feel like
Organic cotton, fun.
yep, already.
And the booties.
Yep,
Look at the
I know.
box.
I know. This is so cute. But look at the. It's like little Ugg
Here, you can
boots.
untie that.
No.
It's easy to tie a bow.
I know.
Okay.
And I am a
No.
good one. So they're really
Okay.
cute.
That's gonna soften up nicely.
It's
over
a
time.
great,
Oh,
yeah, it's
yeah,
a nice
I
cotton
know.
and
But
really
isn't that
beautiful
cute?
It's
neutrals.
adorable. Oh, the little boucle
I know
on the
they're like
edges.
little Ugg boots. I know,
So
I
not,
know.
not dyed at all. So there's lots of moms out there and dads who want all the organic stuff. So that's good. These came yesterday. We've
These-
never had these.
These cute little
Cute.
ball huggers.
Gosh.
Because your yarn deserves a hug.
There's all
That's what it
That's
says
cute.
on there.
yeah. There's all different.
Cute designs.
Accessorize.
Yes,
Yeah.
your
my
balls.
So, you know, some
your
of those yarn
balls,
skeins,
accessories for your balls.
some of those yarn skeins in your bag get totally tangled up and stuff. So that's actually kind of a nice
This
thing.
would be great for the center pole girlies.
Totally.
Yeah.
So when they start falling apart.
Exactly.
Ah, that's clever.
Yeah.
Yep.
So those are fun, and we, we did finally get some. So those are here. We've got this save the date, October 4th and 5th. Awesome hand weavings are coming with Bev Polk, who lives in
She's
Wilsall.
undoing the bow. I'm kidding.
So, who doesn't need something beautiful in your kitchen?
Oh,
Bev
wow.
Polk.
Like
She's
drying
from
your
Wissell,
dishes?
Montana.
Is it Wilsall or Wissell?
Whatever. I mean, I'm sure she'll
Look
answer to
at
whatever.
this edging,
It is-
ladies
I know
and
it.
gentlemen.
I know,
Oh.
right? Is it on the same on
Weaving.
both sides?
Did you see anything
No.
as fine
Oh,
as
yeah.
this in your European travels?
Yeah, the Latvians are crafty. They're very
I
crafty.
will say that Bev's aesthetic is modern, but and Scandinavian,
inspired.
and still traditional in a sense. So,
I love this.
Isn't
and
it
these
lovely?
colors are
so
gorgeous.
she's going to be here with a trunk show on basically the first Friday of October.
And Saturday.
In Billings World, it is the art walk.
Yay, come
So
on down.
we'll be open late. So
Beautiful
she's going to
stuff.
have more than these beautiful
She
things.
had
She'll have bags.
amazing table runners.
Yes,
and
things that
placemats.
she's making just for the shop.
The table runners and the placemats were just intricate weaving patterns, not plaids. Although maybe she has plaids now too. I don't know. Anyway,
But she's
so,
going to be, there's going to be some bags that she's doing exclusively for our shop.
yeah.
We
And
love a good
they're
tote
pretty
bag.
remarkable.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one of a kind.
I
Okay.
wanted to, well, we still
so
have.
tell your mom. Maybe she
yeah.
can shop for you.
Oh, yeah,
The
I'll tell
Devil
her.
Wears
Some
Prada.
good
I'm
Yes.
sorry you won't be here for that.
I know.
I love the Devils Wear Prada.
I know. And so, Maker's Night at the movies, we rented the Art House. So
The
it's
24th.
Tuesday, 24th. It's going to be at 7 o'clock. The lights will be up a little bit. So, you'll be able to make
bring your project that you don't have
knitting,
to
crochet.
think about.
Yeah, don't think too hard about what you're
Best
you're
popcorn
doing.
in
So
town.
you can buy tickets at the shop. You can buy tickets on our website. Is really the best way to get your tickets.
I finally went to the art house this weekend for the
Oh,
first
isn't
that
time.
nice?
It
What
is
did you see?
lovely. Saw Beetlejuice. It
Oh,
was very
I
fun.
went on Thursday.
Nice.
I know.
We'll chat later about
Okay,
it. I
yeah,
loved it,
yeah,
though.
it was really good. It was really good.
Yeah, the art house is awesome.
Speaking of scary, so I'm making this cute little doodle hat for the shop, all very
Doodly.
autumn, Halloweeny.
It's
So
Isn't that fun?
I'm actually, the top one is just a little cauldron. So the next little bit is going to be the little steamy bubbles.
And
that
for
come
those
out.
who, Cindy is planning a basic color work class for a hat.
Whoopsies.
So watch for that. For those of you who want to do this, aren't quite confident enough to try it on your own, Cindy is going to be your ticket for that.
I love the
We don't have it
neon
scheduled
here.
This is the other little project I finished
That's so cute.
with for a grandson that loves sharks.
Shark Week
Doo-doo.
hat.
The sharks.
Doo-doo,
Yep.
doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo.
Yeah. So fun.
So,
fun.
yeah, so
doodles, and
yeah.
we have pre-ordered her
Um,
available pre-orders. So for those of you who follow specific people and then click directly with them, you could also think about the fact that we might be getting it too. So we
yeah,
are.
so give us a
Just
well,
like
what are
we're
we
getting Paul's book.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll get your book, but
Okay.
your,
We'll get my book.
the Gilmore Girls book.
Yeah, that's coming out next month. I contributed 2 patterns to the Gilmore Girls knitting book. I
Yeah, I'm
can't talk
anxious
about
to
what
see
they
what
are
it's
yet.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So is it something that needs to be fitted?
One of them needs to be
Like
fitted.
a really important gauge swatch?
Yes. The
Okay.
technically both
Is
of
that
them
a
This is
are.
like 20 questions. No, it's just like I'm trying to
Oh,
figure out
you're trying to figure out what
kind
it
of
is.
thing he knit
Oh,
and if
you're
it needs to
getting-
have
Yeah.
gauge
Guessing.
work.
Yeah.
It's probably a sweater.
Oh,
Oh,
I think it
yeah.
might be. Because you were talking about that last year.
I was a little bit. Yeah, I had to bring. I finished that project. I had the yarn here, and then I brought it with me to Latvia, and I had to ship it from Latvia back to the States, back to Tanis, and I ended up shipping it out of the DHL at the Latvian Christmas market.
Oh, funny.
So that worked out great.
So
but
shipping works, right?
yes,
Oh,
shipping
that's
works
good.
great. At the end of the month, I think I'll be able to share what designs I've contributed.
Okay.
2 designs. Somehow I got 2 in them this time, and
Nice.
then I'm very excited to share them with you.
You were in her Harry Potter. What were you in?
Right,
The
the
Nightmare Before
Nightmare
Christmas.
Before
That was
Christmas.
last year.
Yeah. Fun.
So I'm hoping to continue working with Tanis. It's been very fun, just doing some
Nice.
fun, more fandom-y stuff, and I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know
cool.
what the next one will be. Otherwise, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, I know lots of people who love the Gilmore Girls.
Oh yes, and you know it's the
So-
perfect fall knitting book because it's the perfect fall knitting shawl.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah. Get your coffee. Go to Luke's.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay,
All
and
right.
then yeah, so you were in Latvia to do research
Mm-hmm.
on Latvian style knitting, learn about some Latvian knitters,
Yeah.
embrace the culture, and write your own book.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
So can we check all
Yeah.
those off?
I was a bit naive about writing a book in 9 months, I will admit that. But the samples are knit. I have 11 patterns ready to be collected into a book.
Okay.
The photography's done. I worked with a local photographer. We did all of the samples in areas or with the inspired people.
Cool.
And so photography and samples are done. Now I just need to write the thing.
Okay. So how did you because you went, did you have anything in mind when you went there? Like, I want to do a hat, I want to do mittens, I want to do, or did you just go there and wait for that to come to you, or?
I knew I wanted to do some pieces, like I knew I wanted to do some Latvian colorwork for like some colorwork mittens. I knew I wanted to do a few sweaters because I love sweaters, a shawl, some accessories. So I wanted to make sure it was a good knitting book where I had a variety of knitting projects, different levels, and just different techniques for people to play with.
Okay.
But really, the people inspired what those items would become. For example, I met a theater artist, also creative. She was the first one I met at a theater festival my first week in Latvia. She made this beautiful circle weaving out of summer flowers and grasses and whatnot. I'm like,
Oh.
how cool would that be as a shawl? So I made
wow.
a shawl, worked with a local dyer in Riga, and she contributed some superwash and some fuzzy alpaca to do this really fun texture. So that's a shawl in the book. I have a pair of traditional-ish Latvian mittens,
Okay.
but where it's knit traditionally, but the colorwork is more modern.
Okay.
She's an iconic Latvian knitting celebrity. Everyone knows Ina.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, you need designer mittens then. So that's one of the patterns. And
knit?
yeah.
Did you knit them all yourself?
Yeah, the majority of all of them. My mom did help me knit a pair of mittens, and then I finished them.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of everything for everyone. There is a lot of color. So I realized, I'm like, oh, nearly every single project has color work or two colors involved.
Well, then you'll want
But-
to take that little class.
Yes, exactly. Take the class with Cindy. But I do have one sweater that is stockinette and ribbing. There's no changing in color. It's
Okay.
it's a bit more minimalist,
Okay.
inspired by one of the local yarn shop owners.
Okay.
So yeah, that was the fun part about the project is it was less history focused and more like who did I meet? What does Latvian contemporary knitting look like? How does knitting look like today? And then
And
I
what
took
is the scene like over there?
it is
A lot of
fascinating.
knitters?
A lot of knitters. There are 8 to 10
Lots
yarn
of different
shops.
ages,
8 to 10 yarn
ages
shops.
of
Yes.
demographic of knitters. Everybody's
Yeah,
8 to 10 yarn shops.
yeah, for a city of 500,000 people.
Wow.
In comparison, New York City is a city of 8 million with 8 to 10 yarn shops.
Wow.
Huh.
Wow.
So maybe you would just like go to your neighborhood shop, like you would go to your neighborhood coffee.
Yeah,
Well,
you
like
would.
London doesn't have that many yarn shops.
No, it really
mean,
doesn't. When I was
yeah.
there,
Mm-mm.
I think I went to 2.
Yeah, there's
I
not.
remember.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
So that was fascinating just because it's very much a private hobby where people do it at home. Most people I met like kind of start knitting as in their 30s when they start having kids, and then they just start doing it because
Okay.
their moms did it.
Okay.
All Latvian students,
Oh, in school.
they learn knitting in school. They knit a
Good
pair of
for
socks.
them.
So
Excellent.
they knit one pair of sock and then they get tired and they get frustrated and then their mom or their grandma makes another one. Can you please repeat his name? Oh, my name is Paul Haesemeyer, if that's what you're asking. Thank you, Michelle.
It'll be in the show notes.
Yeah,
Yes.
don't worry.
Yeah.
And so it's really a part of their culture because the Latvian mittens are UNESCO recognized. So I saw
Right.
so many mittens, and really the way knitting is organized there is less in yarn shops and more in studios.
Oh.
People come together, form these clubs, form these studios. They
Okay.
focus on a project for the year. Like we're working on Intralac this year. We're working on color work, or
Who's
we're
in
doing
charge
this.
of that?
Yeah.
It's
they
the
vote?
studio heads, and
Is
I
it like
think
is it like a guild?
it's like kind of like a knitting guild.
Okay.
So you have all these
Okay.
little knitting guilds, and what I found out from one guild in Liepaja, which is a beach city, about 3 hours west of Riga, is that back in the 60s and 70s during the Soviet occupation, the crafting houses were one of the few places where Latvians could practice their ethnography because everything else was limited.
Oh.
So they were very popular in that time where it's like, oh, this is where we're allowed to be Latvian.
Huh. Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
So a lot of interesting people, a large range of ages. I tried to be fairly diverse. Most of them are, you know, women from their mid-30s and higher, but I did get a teenager who's a part of the goth scene, punk scene. I went to a punk concert at a gallery, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. And he's studying weaving and fiber arts at the local art academy. And
That's cool.
so we have a lot of fun stories including a story about Pace Yarn Factory in Dundaga, Riga. They do this lovely...
Is that a neighborhood in Riga?
No, it's a city about 3 hours north of Riga.
Oh.
It is a lovely...
Wait, I thought you said Riga. Dundaga, Riga.
Oh, Dundaga, Latvia, my bad.
Oh, okay. All right, gotcha. There.
So many A's in Latvia.
Uh-huh.
The Latvians will be upset when they find that out. But this is their lovely single ply. It is a local wool that they spin and dye. And it is very similar. It's Latvia's spin cycle, Freya, etc.
It's coarse.
It is coarse.
Very
and this
woolly.
this is already washed once.
Okay.
And when I was diving in, I got 23 kilograms. I kind of blacked out and got 23 kilos, I think, of yarn for less than $200. I have to say, it is very affordable, but it is lovely. And this is their 2-ply. Same yarn. They dye it, they spin it, and it's a secret. It's a trade secret, and every single maker does this.
Colorway.
Oh,
And it
every
is
single maker does
yours.
it. Oh, thank you,
Oh.
Paul.
Yes.
Nice.
It kind of reminds me of this colorway from Noro that was always my favorite. That I
fun.
kind of hoarded
Yeah.
it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Thank
Yeah.
So-
you.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Latvia.
They're on Facebook. You can order them on Facebook. I'm
Oh,
not
from
too
this
sure
company?
from the company.
Oh, okay.
I just visited the factory a few times. I have a sweater inspired by their yarns in particular.
So is that the only mill in the country?
No, there's a couple of others.
Okay.
That was the only one I visited that I
Okay.
had contacts with. It's a nice yarn, and my hands were just covered in lanolin after diving into
Right.
those bins.
Yeah,
and-
no, it's a nice woolly wool. I wonder what the sheep breed is, the primary one over there.
Me too.
Okay.
That'll be the sequel, maybe. We'll find out. 'Cause I was talking to Grieta Gondore of Grieta Knits. She was the one who introduced me to Pace, and I mean, I'd seen them before at the different mills and whatnot. But we went on a field trip, and I'm like, well, Grieta, do you think we could go meet the sheep? She's like, I think we can, but, you know, time flew.
Oh, right.
Right,
I
yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's a small country of only 1.2 million.
Did you
It did
see
feel like
sheep
Montana.
out and about?
Not really.
Really?
No.
Huh.
In some of the countryside places, yes, but I didn't see
Okay.
much livestock. Oh, no, I did see sheep at the Christmas market. They brought sheep for the
Oh.
Christmas market. They had a
Alright.
little pen with sheep, so I did see
Aw,
some.
how
Okay.
cute. Yeah. Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So, but you did leave Riga. You went
Mhm.
on some train rides, bus rides out and about.
Yeah,
but,
I was in Riga until the end of June, and then I spent the summer just traveling. Some of my articles about my travel are on Modern Daily Knitting,
Yeah,
including my
that's cool.
last
yeah,
one
we've
in
read.
Porto.
We've read.
with Kay and Ann. So so cool.
Yeah.
You were featured in a Latvian tabloid.
Yes.
Where did
It
we
is
put
back
that?
here. Here it is.
Oh yeah, this is hilarious.
This is
Your name is Paul's.
Paul's Haesemeyer's. This is Privatus Zive, which means private life in Latvian.
Private life.
It is the Us Weekly, and the horrified looks when I came in with this magazine into some coffee shops. They're like, "Why do you have this?" I'm like, "Well, this is why."
It's like in the middle, like a 2-page spread.
It is.
That's so cool.
It's hysterical. I was featured also in the Latvian NPR, which is
Okay.
LSM.
And that's how they heard about
That's
you.
how they heard about me. They're
Okay.
particularly
Good
interested
journalists over there.
in the shawl that I knit for Uma Thurman back at Williamstown in 2019. That was 5 years ago now, ladies.
Wow.
And my cute little apartment and all my yarn and
Well,
it's
they
been
did
a fun
it
special
looks
one.
like they did a pretty good job.
did a
I
nice
do think
one.
it's funny that they changed Uma's name and your name. I mean, it's just funny.
Yeah,
What that's quirky.
that's just what they do.
Who knew?
Who knew?
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So it's been fun turning into a little mini celebrity. I'd go places like, oh yes, I've read about you on Facebook. I'm like, oh, hopefully good things. I mean,
Well,
only good things.
You haven't
I
been
think.
around long enough.
No, I
that
haven't.
People start digging up dirt.
No, I don't think. No, not yet. At least. It's a small world there.
That
and
is
it
pretty
was
funny.
very fun, and I met with studios all across the country for the month of April. I did this event called Meet Your Maker, where I would join Linda Rubena. She was my advisor for the project. She works for the Latvia National Center of Culture.
Okay.
Also, my Latvian mother at this point. And
Her name is Linda.
her name is Linda.
How
Yes.
does she spell it? Do they add an
Same,
S?
no,
Oh,
same.
huh.
They only do S's for boys' names.
Oh.
Wait, that
Yeah.
was... Huh.
Yeah.
Weird.
And so I joined her every weekend and going to a different little guild and visiting all sorts of people of like a new event space or ceramics or weaving or knitting. And it was a blast meeting all these people and just kind of being her shadow and getting to meet everyone she knows. And she knows nearly everyone in the country.
Really?
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, she's in charge of the culture, the
She's not in charge, but she's one of the big people.
Okay.
She's like, I think just one step below, but she talks to everyone. She does all the organizing. So
neat.
yeah.
Well, I think it's
Sounds like they
really
have-
nice. She spent so much.
Oh yeah.
Was willing to spend so much time with you.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, I'm sure she's got a life
Yeah.
and stuff, but
Yeah.
Sounds like they have a lot of national pride.
Oh,
in
they
their-
do.
Some of their heritage.
And that's the interesting thing is discussing a lot of that nationalism as a result of the collapse of the Soviet Union, returning back to their base, and living in an ethnocentric country with their nationalism looks very different from how it is here. So just it's been interesting just
Okay,
doing
so
a lot of
where
thinking.
exactly is Latvia now? I haven't looked at a map
Yeah.
lately. So where is it?
So we have Finland, and then we have Estonia, Latvia, and Russia's right over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you ever feel like? I mean, it just seemed like you were pretty free to move as much as you wanted, say what you want.
Oh yeah,
do
it's a
what you
part of
want.
it's
You
a part of the
didn't-
European
you didn't
Union.
feel like
yeah.
Yeah.
you were.
No.
You know.
No, and that's the interesting thing is talking to a lot of these people. They lived life during the Soviet occupation, and one woman told me how she visited some cousins or family of hers back in the 70s, and a phone repairman came out to repair the phone. But it was the KGB because they
Right,
saw
they were
the
just-
car. So,
Oh, weird.
you know, it's
Huh.
they're still struggling with and reckoning with that time, of course,
Right.
figuring out who they are moving into the future. They joined the EU as fast as they can. They discussed the NATO alliance has its 20th anniversary
right.
this year, so there's a lot of discussion with that. I did some videos with the embassy for that.
Cool.
So, you know, it's very much on their minds, their history. It's so recent.
It's,
still.
Right.
it's very recent, and they are they're in Europe, and closer to Russia. And anyway, yeah.
Yeah, and they're just grateful to be part of the EU now. They have American security. They're working on a train line to connect the Baltics to Poland now. So that's their biggest project for infrastructure, and people are excited to take a train to Poland, and they don't have to drive.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Very great experience.
I have
Yes,
no
it's been
idea
wonderful.
what time it is, but I was going to ask you. So Franklin Habit.
We got 10 minutes. Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
you met- you got
yes.
I mean, I want to know if you told him that you're from Billings,
Oh, yeah.
where he did his very first class.
Oh, yes.
Here
we
in Billings.
chatted.
Talked about it.
Okay.
We first met online on Instagram, I think. That's how Franklin and I first connected, and we finally got to meet in person at H&H Cologne last March.
Oh, okay.
And that was so wonderful meeting him in person, and we just, it was like we've known each other forever, and I'm like,
Well, you were
What-
just a little tyke.
oh yes,
2009 was his, yeah.
Well, I
was
would have
the
been
Franklin World
I would have
Tour.
been 11. Yeah.
I wonder if your mom came to any of those classes.
No, she couldn't make it. I was
Okay.
chatting with her about it. She's like, oh yeah, I remember it happening, but
Yeah.
couldn't make it work for some reason.
Yeah, I
and
still have my T-shirt.
Yeah.
Franklin
nice.
World Tour.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
Suzanne
that's
made those.
great.
Oh, it's funny.
Oh, we'll need to find one of those.
I
I
know.
want to see that now.
He
Yeah.
has one, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably in a
So
quote somewhere.
he and I connected
It's a
in
rag.
Cologne. Yeah, seriously. And then so we met in Cologne. We're like, oh yeah, let's just. Yeah, we keep in touch still. We chat regularly. And I stayed for a couple of weeks in Lille, France. A friend of a friend let me stay in her apartment. And I went to Paris for the day, and I ended up spending the night at Franklin's apartment. It is beautiful.
Oh, really?
I bet it
And-
is.
And it's not near any of the touristy areas in Paris. It's one of the few areas that wasn't affected by the Olympics.
Uh-huh.
So Franklin just took me to all of his favorite places. We
Was
had
that
some good
was
meals.
that during that time?
It was.
Was
Oh, wow.
That was the week that
Madhouse.
I think it was like a few days before the opening ceremonies,
geez,
even, or
yeah.
like the week of the games. I don't remember exactly when it was, but the games were happening,
Uh-huh.
and we had a lovely time. And I'm like, Franklin, thank you for being a friend. And I'm like, I
But
need
he
to figure out
remembers.
something.
He remembers.
Oh, he
Billings.
remembers it. I
Okay.
said, And I said to him,
Good.
like, oh yeah, like, I grew up in Billings, and I heard that you taught there. I was like, oh yeah, that was my first class I taught. And I'm like,
that's
really? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
just such a small world
I know.
moment, and
I
it's
still
just been
have
fun.
my little garment that I made in his class.
Oh, amazing!
yeah,
What
And
was
it's like
it?
doll sized.
Oh,
So
okay.
he did some cute like drawings on ornaments,
Right.
and I have one.
Yeah.
So
I have
it
one
was,
too.
you know,
I
he
have
has
I
that
have two
fun
or
little
three
cartoon
of them
book.
actually.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I got one of his
that's fun.
coloring books. I got it as
Oh.
a gift, and,
Yep.
and I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, I should get him to sign it. And
Dolores.
Dolores,
uh-huh.
and he did the illustrations for Patty Lyon's knitting
Okay.
bag
Right.
of tricks.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh, I should have had him sign it, because Patty
Uh-huh.
signed my copy because I got it at Vogue
And you
Knitting.
got to meet Patty.
I got
Where
to
did
meet
you meet her?
Patty.
Was she at
I met-
H&H Cologne also?
should grab
No,
her
I
book,
met
Sue.
Patty at Vogue Knitting Live.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that was last
Ye-
January.
Yeah, that was January. I did come back
Uh-huh.
for Vogue Knitting last January. Bought my copy of the Knitting Bag of Tricks from Miss Patty Lyons
Uh-huh.
herself.
And you met
Franklin. Yeah, and I met her, and she's wonderful. And
This is a
Franklin
great book.
did all the illustrations.
Right, and there's a workbook coming soon. We have pre-ordered that, so that'll be fun.
get your workbook. And
Yeah.
now I'm like, oh, I need a Franklin to sign it, so now I can have both signatures,
Yeah,
both
really.
contributors. And
So and then
Yeah.
so you have done you sort of have just an ongoing thing now with Modern Daily Knitting? to the
yeah,
article?
that just started. I hopefully will be contributing every 2 to 3 months now,
Okay.
and because I've published
And does
3 articles now.
Kay still live in New York?
Yes, I
so
believe
you'll
so.
be able to meet
Yeah,
her.
in person
Nice.
finally. I met one of the editors at Vogue last time as well,
Okay.
and I think it might have been Adrian. I don't remember. It was a lot of people in a short
Yeah,
time
yeah,
frame.
yeah.
But yeah.
Okay,
it's
so
been
off
fun.
to so the book is now you're
In
kind
works.
of getting some feedback on it, and then you will.
Yep, I
continue
submitted
that
it to an
process.
agent. Hopefully, I'll hear back from the agent
Mhm.
soon. If I don't, I'll just find another one and just try
Okay.
to get that ball rolling. And then, I head to New York this week.
Okay, cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I'll be living in Brooklyn, working in Manhattan. I have a lot of people in the costuming and theater industry. No, I don't have a job yet, but that's how the industry works, unfortunately. But I know a lot of people,
You know people.
so
Yeah.
I'll be working with who knows what,
You'll-
and
you'll
I'll be
be
running
fine.
around painting the town red. That'll be
Awesome.
wonderful.
We will, and you're great
You'll
at
just become
social
an
media.
influencer.
I'm
so
trying
maybe
to.
you'll make money at that.
I'd like to. People want to pay for my opinion. I'm down. We'll do it. We'll see what happens.
So you've got, so are there now that you're a Fulbright alumni,
Mhm.
right, or alum? So do they do anything?
Like,
That
to
you know
finish off
of?
your
Like,
year or
is
mentor
there a
other ones?
follow-up interview? What do you have to
Um,
do? Do you have to do anything for that anymore?
Go pop
No,
in
not
circuit
anymore.
staff.
Okay.
No. I
Didn't
did.
have the
I did get an official certificate from them. It's an
Okay.
online certificate.
Mm-hmm.
I had to fill out some surveys, and really, Fulbright is less concerned about your project and more about how are you engaging with the country.
Yeah.
What are you doing? How am I being a soft ambassador? Pun intended. I made that joke many times. And just kind of that's what they're interested in is like, yeah, you're here to do this project, but we're more concerned about
Yeah.
how you're engaging with the community.
Yeah.
And
Sounds like you did
Yeah.
a great job at that.
Yeah.
oh, we had fun, and
Met all kinds of people.
I did, and I ended up meeting. I ran into the ambassador once, leaving a coffee shop, and
Oh, fun.
he was walking his dog. I'm like, "Who's this guy with a security detail?" I'm like, "Oh, hello, Mr. Robinson,
Oh,
Mr.
that's
Ambassador."
funny.
And I ended up right before I left, I ended up running into the deputy ambassador, and she said, "Paul, "You're our most successful and famous Fulbrighter we've had here." I'm like, "What? Really?"
Yeah, that-
So
What?
I
Because
know,
of the
nice.
tabloid?
because of the tabloid, because of who knows what else, and
That's hilarious.
We're waiting for
We
the
had
next tabloid to find out all of the dirty secrets.
What are
of
the
Paul.
New York tabloids?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's
We'll
on the
see.
back here?
I don't. It's one of their other magazines. Maybe it's a
Oh,
women's
I didn't
journal.
see
I
that.
don't know.
Those curlers.
They do a lot of different other magazines. I mean, she's got her cigarette. I'm like, that would be allowed. in the
Another
States.
Linda.
So,
Yeah.
that Linda must
Linda's
be
a popular one.
maybe
Huh.
a good Latvian name.
It is a good Latvian name.
Linda from
Maybe I don't
Latvia.
know that I'm actually Latvian.
Maybe. We'll find out.
So, the everyday grocery store. Did you
Yeah,
have a little
that's-
market on your street? Was there a big supermarket? How did that
Yeah,
work?
I was
There's no
gonna ask,
Costco.
what's
There's
your,
no
like,
Walmart.
Little rigid schedule. Did you have a schedule that involved the grocery
Did you do
store?
your marketing
yeah.
every day?
I did marketing
there
as
a
I needed to.
vegetable
There's
Was there a cheese shop?
there's this lovely market actually, like 5-10 minute walk away from me in Old Town. I didn't go very often just because not everyone spoke English there, so I just
Okay.
was like, I mostly went with the supermarket called Remy just because I'm like, I just want to scan stuff and get out.
Right. Okay.
But every once in a while I'd go to the market, and what they did is it's an old World War II era airplane hangar.
Oh.
It's 4 hangars. They converted it all into markets.
Oh my
So one
gosh.
market is the
Huh.
fish market.
Oh, cool.
One building is the fruits and veg,
Okay.
butcher,
Wow.
etc. And then they also have way more fruit vendors and everything else outside of it, as well as
Huh.
this huge, beautiful market. The train station is nearby.
Okay.
So that's a beautiful place to visit. I brought my family there when they came and visited.
Nice.
So often, usually for special occasions, we'd go down
Okay.
there because it's like we had a little Thanksgiving dinner, and that's where we got our turkey because we
Oh.
couldn't find a turkey
Huh.
anywhere else.
Okay. Huh. Interesting.
So lots of good coffee. I went
Good.
bowling once, so it's still very much a up and coming. Feels very similar to the U.S. in some ways, not in others. Had a beautiful white Christmas. I felt like I was in a Christmas movie every day. Only got 6 hours of sunshine in the month of December. And I'm like, oh,
You take
that
your
explains a
vitamin
lot.
D.
I did. I took my vitamin D every day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Pretty far north. Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Well,
Well-
we are proud of you and excited for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I heard you
Cool.
guys rooting me on across
Yeah.
the Atlantic.
Well, and we
Oh,
can
yeah.
do. Yeah, we've got a present for
What?
you. Look.
I love it.
There's something
Oh,
inside.
there's something inside.
Not yarn. It should be easy to pack.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is so cute. A Hedgehog Fibers t-shirt. I love it. Thank you
In yarn
guys.
we trust. Yep.
We need a tote
And in
bag.
case you need to
Yeah.
remember how to mend a hole.
Thank you. I
right
appreciate
there.
it.
And these are available on the website.
Oh,
Fun.
you can fit a sweater's quantity of yarn in here.
You
Oh,
Perfect.
you
Yes,
can
yeah,
fit more than a
absolutely.
sweater.
Yeah.
So the
Two
next couple
sweaters.
days, you're just packing away, right?
Packing away
Mhm.
and getting ready and
Cool.
off to see what next adventures happen.
Next
so
adventure.
if any of you are tuning in from New York, please reach out. I'd love to meet you. So we'll see what we can do.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. We'll see
I
you
miss
soon.
you guys. See
Yeah,
you soon.
Yeah. And
Bye.
we'll do a split screen sometime to
Yes,
catch up.
Yeah,
please.
with
yeah,
Paul.
that
Let's
would be
do it.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yep. Yep. Thanks for watching.